Hello, welcome to Finishing Touch. My name is Riley James. We are so grateful to have you with us today.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be an owner of a social media network? We have a very unique opportunity where we build you a turnkey social media website that is specific to a theme or niche that you are passionate about. Upon signing up, you'll become a part of our Social Titan community, which is made up of social network owners just like you. You can then share ideas and strategies on how to grow your user base and get more traffic to your website. But how will you make money? Once you have the traffic on your website, all you have to do is sell advertising to companies in your niche. Just 3 months ago, we launched a social network for soccer, and now that same website has over 60,000 visitors each month. That soccer website is also generating monthly income on advertising from soccer-based businesses. It's really that simple. Join our Facebook group today to learn how you can become a social titan.
We have a fantastic guest, an academy product in Major League Soccer's probably one of the best teams the last few years. Philadelphia Union, Supporters Shield champions last year, this year making a deep run into the MLS Cup playoffs. And we have 17-year-old phenom Quinn Sullivan with us. Quinn, thank you so much for making time, man. How are you?
Doing well. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing fantastic. A lot of things I want to get into with you today. But first off, you're in the midst of a playoff run. This is recording December 1st, 2021. So obviously you guys are still in the middle of it. Being a part of this run, how does it feel? And is it kind of everything you expected it would be?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great just being a part of the team. This entire year, we've all worked really hard. And just to know that that hard work is paying off is really valuable. Obviously, coming off of our win against Nashville in PKs, it's the farthest we've ever made it in our club's history. And just to be a part of that, be a part of history is really special. But we're not done as a team and for myself. So we're going to keep pushing and hopefully get 2 more games.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you made time during the middle of a playoff run for us. So we're incredibly thankful. I want to dip into Quinn Sullivan a little bit. Obviously, you went through the academy program. A lot of focus has been put on the academies in MLS the last 10 to 5 years. Can you talk about the academy process, your recruitment to Philadelphia, and just kind of how it all came together?
So I'm a local Philadelphia native, and as a homegrown, I really feel like I represent that word. So the recruitment process wasn't that crazy. It's not like some coach saw me at some big tournament. This is a local kid, just playing for Fishtown Hotspurs and Philly Soccer Club, and it's very basic. We started with the Union Futures and Union Juniors program, then worked our way up through the U15, U13s, 14s, 15s, 17s, and then it's great that the Union 2 is really, gained a stride, I would say, and it was a really valuable part of my development last year and preparing me for this year.
Fishtown Hotspurs? Is that a real name?
Yeah, that was our name. We had it was Fishtown Athletic Club, located in Fishtown, and yeah, Brandon Craig and I was also on the team. We played our entire lives together. First at Lighthouse. We call him Uncle Neil. He was our coach, but he's a close family friend. And then we both moved to Fishtown, and gained a name for the organization. I'd say best team to ever come out of Fishtown for sure. Thanks to Coach Bob Mulvena and Joey Rhett, and then the whole team transferred over to Philly Soccer for like field space. But then we both moved on to the next step in our journey to the academy.
Interviewing kind of a lot of people that are through academy programs that play in USL, that are playing MLS. I've heard a lot of like these youth soccer names, and that might be the best one. That is a great name. That is incredible. You mentioned Philadelphia Union 2, Philly 2 in USL. Obviously, you spent some time there, and going from the academy to USL, the jump, the switch, how did you handle it? Just being what you probably were like, what, 15, 16, huh?
It was last year, so I was 16, heading into 17.
Yeah. So
Um,
how did you, I mean, you're playing against grown men. How did you
yeah.
prepare your body, and how did you prepare mentally?
The body part was a lot more difficult to like get used to. Obviously, strides like that can't be taken that fast. I'd say mentally was a lot easier, just getting used to the group and knowing that I can be here, I deserve to be here, and I deserve to be playing. I think as a kid, like that's the mentality you always have to have. Like you earn your spot, and when you earn it, you have to have that confidence to say I earned this and I deserve to be here. And after that, it got a lot better for sure.
So kind of bringing your background into kind of focus here. Your family is just a soccer obsessed family. Your dad was a pro player, your cousin was a pro player, your mom was D1, your grandfather 17 years at Villanova. How much of the influence from the family kind of impacted your career? And I mean, was there anything else you were going to do with your life other than be a professional soccer player?
I mean, yeah, it was never really forced upon us to be a professional soccer player. I mean, we grew up playing soccer, all my brothers and I. We all still play. I also played baseball, and not many people know this, but my grandfather, before he served in Vietnam, he actually had a tryout with like the Pittsburgh Pirates for baseball. So I grew up playing baseball until I was probably about 14, and then I made my decision to pursue soccer as my passion. But I'd say the family representation that I have and my brothers have has really helped us grow. Um, just personally for me, just hearing what my dad has to say, what my grandpa has to say, and like they do a really good job with their words, like helping me visualize plays after like club games, because we didn't used to have film, and now we have film, but prior to that, they would describe certain plays that happened and how I can improve, and then their overall understanding of the game has been super helpful in my development as well.
Brief interruption. We are looking for advertisers for the State Soccer Network website and the app. You can advertise to over 2,000 daily users on statesoccernetwork.com and the SSN app. Plans start at $30 a month, but mention our show in the email and you will get 1 month of that free. Contact statesoccernetwork@gmail.com for more information. And back to the show. So obviously, it's not just family that help with development; it's role models, and I want to kind of look back at some of the younger players in MLS. We've had Freddie Adu and Gianluca Buzio and a lot of guys who've come up through the academy programs. Do you look at any of those guys and look at their path and kind of pull from them, or are you pulling from, like you said, family members or maybe other bigger names within soccer?
I've never really looked at like some of the younger guys in the league. I've never really looked at their pathway. I kind of wanted to make my own, and I've never really, I think I have something unique in my family, my development, just knowing so many people and a lot of people having that experience. So I've never really thought of that, but I'm trying to maybe someday some kid will look at my path and try and follow that, but we'll see. I haven't really ever had that experience.
And I told you before the show. I mean, you are what kids want to be. Like the kids that watch this show, the people that watch this show around the country, they want to be you, or they want it to be you. Playing professional soccer at such a young age, going through the academy process. Uh, as far as like debuting in MLS and having that experience, was there any pressure that, oh yeah, I am 17, I have to perform here, or what was the mentality like going in?
So my first appearance was in against Deportivo Saprissa in Costa Rica, and it was probably 30 seconds, but I had a great time. I won a header, and then the ref blew the whistle, and I still shot the ball into the net. And a couple of the goalies like joke about it with me, like they would be pissed because they just lost the game. But I never really experienced that type of pressure heading into my debut. I mean, I guess you can consider my game against Chicago Fire my first start is like my full debut. And I mean, obviously, I was nervous heading into the game, but I would say all the nerves kind of leave my body as we walk out for warmups. I kind of, just find who I am, and you know where I'm in my happy place and in my zone. And that's just playing soccer.
I've never asked this to a professional athlete. I've been interviewing professional athletes for 5 years, but in soccer, you obviously have the walkout. So you walk out and do the whole thing. What is that moment like, especially your first time starting for Philly or anyone, but especially in Major League Soccer? What was that like to walk out and just that's the moment where, okay, this is real? Or is it when the whistle blows? Like, what is the whole kind of pregame ceremony like before the whistle actually blows?
I love the walkout personally. I just find, you know, it's not even the walkout, just like standing and like looking at the fans when you're lined up, and then the national anthem starts to play, and then just realize you're representing your club, and people all around the country are watching you play, and then that's just a really proud moment for me. And when you're a kid and you see like when the national team and that national anthem plays and hands across the hearts and like just representing that is really it makes me proud that I can have people across the country watching me play, and that's something you look forward to as a kid. Like that walkout where the camera's moving across and you see like just your head and you whatever singing the national anthem, and that's special.
Right. I mean, it's got to be really great because as someone in the media and even just a fan, I mean, those moments like kind of get you amped up for the game. I can't imagine being on the field, especially the first time, because I know people still like people who've been playing soccer for 15, 20 years, whether it be in MLS or wherever else, still love the walkout. So it's really intriguing and interesting to hear someone who is like super young like you talk about that. So thank you for the insight. One more thing I want to get to before we get to the advice part of the show. Your first goal was goal of the week. Like what? How was your reaction to that? Like what'd you say? What'd you do? Did the guys give you any stuff in the locker room? Like what happened?
I mean, so yeah, it was the same game was my first start, and it was a corner kick, and I was just doing my role, and I was supposed to be clearing space for one of the guys, and the ball gets flicked up, and my instincts kind of took over, and I mean, I kind of just biked it into the net, and in the video, you can see me like after I spin and kick, I try and turn my body to see if it went in the net, but I didn't see it in time, and I looked up, and Sergio Santos is just sprinting at me like I scored. And I don't know if you've seen the picture. I'm pretty sure I posted it of me after. Like I didn't have enough time to celebrate, but I was just standing there in shock with my arms out and like my mouth wide open. And then in the locker room after the game, we ended up tying 3-3. But everyone was like, "Where'd you pull that out of? Like that was insane." And then goal of the week happened probably 3 or 4 days afterwards, and I got a bunch of congratulations. So it was
One last interruption before we finish the show. Finishing Touch is now looking for sponsors. We have 3 ad spots as you saw today, and 100,000 views to the first 8 episodes of this show. It's only going to get bigger. We thank you so much for the hot start that we've had, and we want to advertise your company in one of those 3 spots. Contact statesoccernetwork@gmail.com for more information, and please enjoy the end of the show. How cool was it for the league to tweet at you?
that was special. I mean, when they tagged me in the Instagram and my followers starting to bump up a little bit, it was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
That's incredible. So No, I'm sitting here trying to imagine what it was like. There's no way I could ever put myself in that position because I was a above average high school soccer player, and that was it. But the idea of this podcast obviously is to give kids and 13 to 17-year-old players a chance to hear professional soccer players and college players and USL coaches and MLS coaches to kind of create this pathway or give them some advice on their own pathway. So you went through the academy system. You were playing professional soccer at 17 on a good team in Major League Soccer. What is your advice to that 13, 14, 15-year-old kid who wants to play and get to that level and just get better at whatever level they're going to get to, but just get better and be the best version of themselves?
One little like quote that I like is, if your goal doesn't like seem too difficult, it's not like if it doesn't seem like you can't reach it, it's not high enough. So if you want to be a pro, you shouldn't try and settle for your goal of being, just like a good high school player or a good college player. You should really reach for the highest level that you want to reach. And then it's all about, I mean, it's cliche, but it's all about the work you put in. And it's the work you put in when people are watching and when no one's watching. Like, it's kind of difficult to think about, but if you're putting in the work and you're only putting in the work after training for your coach to notice it, it's probably not going to be the best for you. Like, if you're doing the work so you want to improve, that's where you're gonna take the next step in your career and really, I'd say, slingshot your career into the direction you want to go.
That is fantastic advice. Thank you so much for the time. I have a question just for me.
Okay.
Playing in Philly, in Chester, how dope is that bridge in the background?
It's pretty cool. The sunset and sunrise sometimes. Sometimes, like with Union 2, we'd have the really early session, and you'd see the sunrise right on the bridge and the water. It's a nice sight for sure.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome set piece for Major League Soccer. And we have a league that is full of weird things. I'm sure there's a playoff game last night in a baseball stadium, and
Yeah.
that's just kind of MLS. But Chester, Pennsylvania is definitely one of the best set pieces in Major League Soccer. I am so happy for you and the success that Philly has had over the last couple of years and that you have had so far this year in Major League Soccer. Best of luck the rest of the playoffs, and hopefully we get you back on soon.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks for having me. And to everyone watching, thanks for listening. Just keep working and try and reach those goals.
Thank you, man. Hi, thank you so much for watching the show. We really do appreciate it here at the State Soccer Network. We also have some socials for you to check out: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at State Soccer Network. And at the State Soccer Network, we also have a website, statesoccernetwork.com, as you can see right there. It's available in the show description with a direct link to find out how to sign up your local high school soccer team and contests and events to win prizes. We also have an iOS app available in the App Store. Thank you so much for watching the things that we make. It really does mean a lot. And remember, the State Soccer Network, a place where you can become the next great American talent.